Hey everybody, I just wanted to do just a short video for you to go along with the article that I hope you're enjoying. Um, wow, I could write 10,000 words on these guitars. I love them so much. So just to sort of make things easier for you as you do read the article, we'll just have a little video here for some additional thoughts. Um, and I was just reading back the article, myself actually proofreading, and I was wondering if I was being a little bit unfair to the Wolfgang Standard. This is my US Wolf, and it's a top of the line premium instrument. It's very expensive. When I bought it about 7 or 8 years ago, it was about $2,800 Canadian, and that's at a time when the US dollar and the Canadian dollar and the US dollar were pretty much at par. Um, and so I think shipping wasn't much, and even the customs didn't turn out to be very much at all. So I actually got this guitar at a really good price. Today, this guitar in Canada costs $4,100 retail. Add another 13% tax here in Ontario, and that's another 500 or 600 bucks. So you're up to $4,700 roughly, and that's a lot of money, especially for a guy like me who's just having some fun in his basement and somebody of my modest ability. Um, I'm glad I got this when I did, because it was a lot more affordable back when I bought one. I would not buy a U.S. model today at that price, not for my purposes. So I don't want to be unfair to the Wolfgang Standard. Um, I can't find anything wrong with the US model. There's nothing I would improve. It's pretty much a perfect guitar. It plays beautifully. This guitar here, being 7 or 8 years old now, is broken in nicely, and it sounds better today than it did the day I bought it and started playing it. So really no complaints at all for the US model. And at that price, really, there shouldn't be, right? I mean, if you're paying all that money for a guitar, there really shouldn't be anything wrong with it. And I can tell you with the US models, there really isn't. They're outstanding quality. They sound great. They play great. They're built to last. This thing would, I'm sure, would go on tour. Well, Eddie's taken them on tour to prove that point. But, these will take road abuse. These will take years and years of hard use. And I fully expect to have this instrument for the rest of my life and for it to be in great shape. If I'm still alive 40 years from now or 50 years from now and I'm still playing, I expect this instrument to be with me. So I'm not going to be unfair to the Wolfgang Standard. It is not in the same class of instrument. They're cousins, for sure. They share a lot in common in terms of neck and feel. Oops, I just knocked over my stand. In terms of neck and feel, and certainly the tone, the pickups, and the way the guitar plays. So they're certainly cousins, or brothers, or at least first cousins. But this is a $750 guitar, Canadian. This is all the prices I'm giving you are in Canadian. And even with tax, you're still well under $1,000, which I think is a really good price for the guitar that you're getting. Couple things, that I would change or like to see a bit different on the Standard would be number one for me is the volume pot. I won't plug in and play tonight. I'll do that, maybe save that for another video to compare the two. The volume pot, it's not a Bourne's pot. It's not very smooth, and it has this weird thing where it's full on. That was the tone knob. I never used the tone knob. Either it's full on, and as you roll back the volume, the sound goes from full on, and then all of a sudden it'll just sort of cut. And then there's still a lot of play left in the volume knob to go to full off. And so if you were doing something like Cathedral, or even if you wanted to just use the volume knob on your guitar to change the tone, it's a little tricky to do uh, with this volume pot. So I think for sure I'm going to be changing out this volume pot. Um, Other things, the Floyd Special, it's a serviceable unit, but it's not. As far as the Floyd Special goes, it's a serviceable unit, but I think it could be upgraded. So what I'm going to be doing for sure is there's a site called FU Tone, and you can do things like upgrade the parts on your Floyd and they'll actually build a custom Floyd for you if you want, but I think I'm just going to upgrade a few of the components here. It's not a bad unit, but it's not certainly not as good as the Floyd that you're getting on the US model. Other than that, I can't fault this guitar. The neck is beautiful. It has a satiny kind of finish to it on the fretboard and on the back. It's the same finish on the fretboard and on the back, and it's very smooth and very fast. And for what you're paying, you're getting an awful lot of guitar. If you're into rock guitar, you really can't go wrong with the Wolfgang Standard. It's affordable. Um, and in fact, if I were buying a guitar today, I just got this. My wife bought this for me for my birthday. For Christmas last year, and I didn't get it until later. And then I talk about that in the article. But um, if I were to do this today, I would not buy the U.S. Wolf at almost $5,000 with tax. I would buy probably, not probably, I would buy the Standard at $750, and then maybe the Stripe series. I think they're about $1,300 or $1,400 Canadian for a left-handed model. These are all lefties. Or what I might even do is buy two of these and keep one stock, and then turn the other one into a project guitar, because you could easily turn this into a nice striped series and take it apart and do some painting and have some fun with it. You could also easily turn this, no, maybe not easily, but you could turn this into the guitar that Eddie played on the 2015 tour, the white relic one. This would be a nice candidate for a relic, or just maybe to have some fun with it. So maybe buy two of these. You're looking at about $1,500 or so, and you have two really great guitars, and one you can keep stock. I really like the way I like the way this guitar looks. I don't normally like black hardware, but I do really like the black hardware in contrast to the white body, and then the black headstock. I really like that as well. So I really love the guitar stock, and this one, I've really debated. Am I going to customize it or stripe it or relic it? I had some stickers on it not too long ago, and I didn't like that, so I took them all off. I don't know. I kind of like the guitar stock, and so I think this one I'm going to leave stock and just let it age naturally and just play it. And if it picks up some dings and some natural wear and tear, that's great. But I'd buy two of them and make one a nice fun project guitar, change out the pickups maybe just to try something different, stripe it, relic it, and have some fun with it. And then you have two really great instruments, and you haven't broken the bank. And that's what I would do today. 7 or 8 years ago, it was a different situation. EVH Gear did not offer the Wolfgang Standard left-handed. The only left-handed models they did offer were the US models. And they were a lot more affordable back then when I bought mine, and it was really the only option. And that was the only sort of left-handed model that they made back then. They're making a few more now, including one stripe series, and then this one, the Standard, and then the black quilt top Standard. It's not a real quilt. I think it's a print. And hopefully they introduce a few more, maybe some Wolfgang specials they'll introduce with a left-handed option, I hope. But I'm really happy with this guitar. And then just sort of one final point. In terms of tone and tone wood, my Wolfgang Standard here is a really hot guitar, really aggressive sounding, really mean, has a real bite to it, which I really love. Compared to my US Wolf, it's still aggressive sounding, but it is a lot more refined, focused, balanced, nice mids still, but all Wolfgang guitars and pickups have really nice mids, I find. But this is a much more refined instrument in terms of tone and sound. And my Standard is a little bit of a wild animal. It has a real kick to it, and I like that as well. And it's nice to have sort of a choice between the two. And when I play through my Helix, some of the amp models I find sound better on my Standard, and some sound better on my US Wolf. And so I'm starting to set up patches now, specifically for this guitar and then specifically for my other guitar. And so that's kind of fun. I really like that too. So hopefully you enjoyed the article. Hopefully you enjoyed this little short video. And EVH gear, they make really good stuff. It's expensive. You're paying for the EVH initials and the stripes and all that. You're paying for it, but it's really good stuff. It's built to last. It plays great. It sounds great. And I have a flanger here, a phaser, the EVH 5150 overdrive. Um, I have an original PV 5150 head, EVH head. So I've had owned and played a lot of EVH gear over the years, and I've been really happy with all of it. So yeah, if you have any questions or comments, leave them below, please. And if any corrections or anything like that, if I was inaccurate or wrong on anything in the article or in this video, please correct me. I'm by no means an expert. There are lots of people way more knowledgeable than I am about this stuff. I know some. I know a lot, but not everything. And I don't really do gear reviews. This is actually my first one. Um, and it's just not something that I do. Maybe in the future I might try my hand at it a little bit more. But this is actually my first one. So I hope you enjoyed it, and leave some comments below, please. And maybe stay tuned for the next one. Maybe I'll follow this one up with a little bit of playing and comparing the two in terms of tone and sound. So thanks for tuning in. Oh, and just a quick shout out to my buddy Eric Broadbent at EVH Gear TV. You'll find him. He has a couple shows actually. There's EVH Gear TV, Kramer Corner, and the Helix Hour. And you'll find him on YouTube under any of those names. Great show, great guy, great friend of mine. So a little shout out to Eric, and this is his swag here, and you can get that from his site as well. So thanks, guys, and we will see you next time.